Welcome to Kitsap Transit, and let me be the first to welcome you aboard. In this video, we're going to give you a crash course of Kitsap Transit's facilities and the various services we provide. As you know, Kitsap Transit provides bus and ferry service throughout Kitsap County, and every year we transport thousands of passengers to work, medical appointments, and whatever essential destinations they need. So sit back and enjoy the video. Kitsap Transit was formed in 1982 when the voters of Kitsap County approved the creation of a public transportation benefit area authority. And with that vote, they also included the implementation of a local option sales tax to fund it. At first, our buses ran mostly in Bremerton, Port Orchard, Silverdale, and Paulsbo. Over the years, several public annexation votes expanded our service area to the entire county. In 1993, Kitsap Transit entered into a fare agreement with Horlock Transportation that ran the local ferries between Port Orchard and Bremerton. We purchased the local ferry route and the Mosquito Fleet era vessel Carlisle II in 2003. Following years of testing and a monumental public vote, Kitsap Transit launched its high-speed passenger-only ferry program in 2017. After establishing the Marine Service Department for the Cross-Sound Ferry Service, Kitsap Transit took full control of the local ferry operation in 2020. Kitsap Transit is growing. We are building a new transit center in Silverdale and are electrifying our bus and ferry fleet. We are exploring new operating facilities and ferry terminal upgrades and ways to improve the reliability, frequency, and connectivity of public transit in Kitsap County. Kitsap Transit is overseen by a 10-member Board of Commissioners made up of 9 elected officials and a non-voting member who represents the agency's labor unions. As a policy-making board, Kitsap Transit's Board of Commissioners consider many operational topics, ranging from large bus purchases and software upgrades to how much routed and access service to put on the street. The board also oversees Kitsap Transit's budget and considers items like fare changes, federal and state grant applications, contracts for operating supplies, and land purchases for construction projects. Kitsap Transit operates a diverse array of transit services. Our routed buses operate on a set schedule along a fixed route. These buses are designed to connect with each other as well as with our local ferries, fast ferries, and Washington State ferries to enable passengers to travel between communities. We also operate on-demand buses in various parts of our county in those places where fixed route service is limited. Our access services provides curb-to-curb transportation for Kitsap County's elderly and disabled residents. Kitsap Transit's Worker-Driver program is a unique partnership with the Puget Sound Naval Shipyard. PSNS workers drive their colleagues to and from work every day, saving money on gas and reducing parking congestion at Kitsap County's largest employer. We also operate a range of rideshare programs for individuals and businesses, including van link, van pools, and carpools. Our Scoot program gives riders who walk, bike, or take transit to work the option of using a low-emission vehicle for personal errands. Our local foot ferries form a vital connection between downtown Bremerton and Port Orchard across Sinclair Inlet by shuttling Puget Sound Naval Shipyard employees to and from work every day and allowing South Kitsap residents to access Seattle via our Bremerton fast ferry service. Finally, we are proud to operate high-speed passenger ferries from Bremerton, Kingston, and Southworth to downtown Seattle. These vessels shorten the travel time between the Kitsap Peninsula and downtown Seattle, creating new opportunities for work, education, and play on both sides of the Puget Sound. Our facilities serve many different functions, all with the same goal: providing convenient, reliable public transit to the citizens of Kitsap County. Charleston was where Kitsap Transit was born, and it remains our main operating base to this day. It's home to our bus storage and maintenance facility, inventory control, access, and routed dispatch offices, as well as the driver's room. This area used to be Kitsap Transit's administrative offices before Harborside was constructed. Upstairs is where our access schedulers and dispatchers work, as well as the head of operations and access departments and other administrative staffs. The upstairs conference room is Kitsap Transit's Emergency Operations Center in the event of a serious natural disaster or other emergencies. Access operators start their day here, signing in and getting the day's bus and work assignments. Access customer service representatives take calls daily from members of the public who want to request a ride. These are folks who are elderly, disabled, or otherwise cannot travel using our regular routed bus system. When someone calls in, customer service representatives will enter their trip request into a computer system. At the end of each day, that system builds a route profile for our access drivers to operate the next day. Each day, our access schedulers takes that route profile and makes tweaks to each trip to ensure that passengers are picked up and dropped off on time. If a bus is late picking up a passenger or runs into unforeseen issues such as traffic or medical emergencies, the software can anticipate scheduling conflicts later in the day and suggest route adjustments. Our dispatchers will then communicate with the access operators to ensure passengers are picked up on time. A dispatcher is dedicated to overseeing BI Ride, our on-demand bus service that operates on Bainbridge Island. They make sure the software is working as intended and takes any calls to schedule real-time trips. Downstairs is where our routed operators sign in and get their daily assignments. It's also where they relax, eat lunch, and take a break before or after their shifts. Routed dispatchers coordinate our routed service. These folks are responsible for doing vehicle assignments to routes, checking in the operators at the beginning of their shifts, responding to radio communications with the operators out in the area, as well as dispatching whatever services may be needed to make sure our services perform on time and as planned. This is our inventory area, which is full of all the parts and pieces we need to keep the buses on the road. Frequently used parts are stored here, and as mechanics need something, they come to the inventory control to check out a part. This helps us track what goes into each vehicle and how much each vehicle is costing us to maintain. Our inventory control folks are also responsible for ordering all of the frequently used parts, as well as receiving them when they are delivered and entering them into our computer system. The maintenance floor is one of the oldest sections of the base. It is designed to hold a maximum of 10 vehicles, 6 routed buses, and 4 of the smaller vehicles. This is where our maintenance department makes repairs to all of the vehicles in Kitsap Transit's fleet: cars, vans, access buses, all the way up to the 30 and 40-foot coaches. As we've grown, Charleston's parking space has been pushed to the limit. The parking lot is shared by Kitsap Transit's worker-driver buses and routed buses. Routed vehicles will park overnight while worker-drivers are on the road, and vice versa. This is also our main fueling facility. At the end of their shift, buses pull into this area to be refueled. At different mileage intervals, buses receive different levels of inspection and preventative maintenance like oil changes and brake checks. After fueling, buses get washed and cleaned. Over the last few years, we've converted many of our smaller buses to propane fuel. Those buses fuel here. North Base was developed with above-ground fuel tanks to fuel buses on site. South Base doesn't have this capability, so fueling trucks will transport diesel from Charleston Base to South Kitsap to fuel those buses. Electric buses are the future of our fleet. Right now, we only have one charging station at Charleston Base, but more are on the way as we prepare for the delivery of multiple additional electric buses over the next several years. This is our main fueling facility with over 60,000 gallons of fuel storage. We track every gallon of fuel from the point it is delivered to the point it gets to our vehicles. Our tanks are double-walled and sensor-equipped to prevent major spills. One of the areas that we're very proud of is our participation in the Environmental Sustainability Management System, ESMS. This is a program that was established many years ago and is a worldwide program. They have set standards, what they refer to as ISO 14001. And these standards require us to train our employees, train our vendors, and be prepared to respond to any kind of an environmental emergency. Our facilities go through extensive training and auditing to make sure that we are in compliance with the regulation. Currently, we have 3 of our facilities that are ISO certified. Charleston Base, where our main fueling facility is located, North Base, where we also have above-ground fueling facilities, and our waterfront fueling facilities for our high-speed passenger ferries in downtown Bremerton. Opened in 2004, the Harborside office housed most of Kitsap Transit's administrative staff. The offices overlook the Bremerton Transportation Center, a central hub that connects buses, local and fast ferries, and Washington State ferries. Kitsap Transit owns a portion of the Harborside complex, but there are multiple owners in the area. The Kitsap Conference Center, Anthony's Restaurant, Washington State Ferries, and the Hampton Inn Hotel, just to name a few. Customer service representatives take customer complaints and comments and forward them to the proper departments. They also help with trip planning, Orca card needs, fares, and any other questions riders may have about Kitsap Transit. Kitsap Transit faced serious challenge when we were asked to move out of the Kitsap Mall a few years ago. Since then, we've worked to develop our own facilities. The Wheaton Way Transit Center, opened in 2019, is one of those. The Transit Center is close to housing, shopping, and Highway 303 and includes a rather large new park and ride facility. A pull-out lane was added to facilitate future bus rapid transit, which will allow buses to drop off and pick up passengers without disrupting the flow of traffic. Fun fact, the stormwater treatment system doubles as a beautiful water feature that runs through the middle of the facility. The Gateway Center is a former shopping center and now a long-term park and ride that Kitsap Transit purchased in 2020. We are exploring future uses for this property, including a new training facility and additional office space. Kitsap Transit is in the process of acquiring the old Bremerton Lanes building, which currently acts as our West Bremerton Transit Center. Like Gateway, we have big plans for this facility and are currently exploring the idea of a hydrogen fuel facility and park and ride. We moved into the current Silverdale Transit Center located near the Trail Shopping Center as a temporary facility that we've been using for many years. We have been looking for a more permanent facility to better serve our riders. Thanks to millions of dollars in federal grants, Kitsap Transit was able to purchase land off of Ridgetop Boulevard for an all-new Silverdale Transit Center. This state-of-the-art facilities will feature in-ground charging technology to wirelessly charge electric buses while they are loading and unloading passengers. This new transit center will be completely accessible and will feature extensive passenger shelters, bike storage, and a dedicated on-ramp for our buses to travel onto Highway 303. The North Viking Transit Center is a hub for Kitsap Transit services in North Kitsap. Opened in 2016, this combination transit center and park and ride features a bus wash and smaller preventative maintenance bays. It's also our only facility that can accommodate double-decker buses. We're working towards the construction of a heavy-duty maintenance facility on this site that will be able to service our current fleet and perhaps double-decker buses in the future. We have several other facilities in North Kitsap, including the Kingston Ferry Terminal, a dock that we lease from the Port of Kingston to operate our fast ferry service. On Bainbridge Island, our facility includes a bike barn to provide a safe place for commuters to store their bicycle, as well as convenient, quick connections from our buses to Washington State ferries. Passengers use the Port Orchard Ferry Dock to travel to Bremerton via foot ferry or connect with buses that travel across South Kitsap. Much of downtown Port Orchard is also accessible on foot via a multimodal pedestrian path. South Base is the location that we operate all of our South Kitsap bus service from. It is also the home to our facilities department. They are responsible for upkeep of Kitsap Transit's grounds and facilities, including bus stops, signs, and buildings. South Base is also where we train newly hired operators in the classroom. Our trainees are required to have 8 hours of training backing up a routed or access coach before they're able to test for their commercial driver's license. Our skilled driver mentors assist trainees in the classroom and on our closed course. Like our other facilities, we face challenges finding enough space for our closed practice courses. Over the course of the last few years, Kitsap Transit has moved locations several times. Our goal, ultimately, is to own space where we can practice without worrying about being forced to move elsewhere. The Southworth Ferry Terminal is shared with Washington State Ferries. Our Southworth Fast Ferry was specifically designed to fit into this bow loading dock. It connects via buses to downtown Port Orchard and several park and rides. Kitsap Transit also operates more than 24 park and ride lots across Kitsap County. We encourage the use of these lots to reduce traffic congestions around ferry terminals and major employment sites. Thank you for sharing your time today to watch this video about Kitsap Transit and a bit of who we are. If you have any additional questions following this, please don't hesitate to ask. And thank you.